Senator Cory Booker was in Iowa this past weekend, which is unsurprising given the time that we're in right now. And presidential candidates are flocking to the state of Iowa because it is the first, it was first on the list in terms of primaries. I believe the primary date is February 3rd of next year. So a lot of people, a lot of these presidential candidates, they're trying to get a foothold there. They're moving into the area. Booker was taking questions from the audience and began speaking about how the country can progress on racial issues. So Booker said that he had white friends approach him and say, quote, "I don't understand this blackface thing. Can you explain it to me?" So Booker then said to the audience, quote, "Imagine in this climate now, saying that publicly. If you want to have more courageous empathy, put yourself in a white person's position who might have questions." So, of course, this is subject matter because of all of the controversy about blackface right now. Northam, the governor of Virginia. Gucci. Exactly. So what he is saying, again, I have to requote him.
Please do, because I really need you to explain something to me, man.
Right.
I really need you to break this down to me. I need you to translate whatever he just said.
Let me restate it, okay?
Please. Slow.
If you want to have more courageous empathy, put yourself in a white person's position who might have questions.
Who might have questions. He's not actually saying what he really means. See, if he's going to like issue some sort of instructional on how to treat a white friend or a coworker or a stranger if they ask about blackface, he needs to be more honest about like really what he's talking about. So it's not that they have questions. What he really means if they are offenders.
Yes.
That's what he really means.
Yeah.
So why not like lay it out like that? Like people who have questions. Really what he really means is like people who have I guess already stepped into the blackface adventure. Mm-hmm. Now I'm trying to figure out like at what point is the questioning happening? Like when is the engagement occurring? Is this like pre-blackface or post-blackface, or like in the middle of blackface? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what, like how, like I'm trying to figure out what scenario his advice applies to, because he claims that just white people are just walking up to him asking him about blackface. Many friends. Because you know, I mean, that happens to me all the time. I don't know about you, Will. I just got mad white mugs walking up to me asking me, you know,
how you feel about
how you feel about blackface?
Like, why
buddy?
is it so offensive?
Yeah.
Like, but even like, look. Even if it wasn't from an offender, even if it was somebody that hasn't stepped into it, right? What it sounds like Cory Booker is asking us to do, it has to be framed as like you're telling black people, put yourself in a white person's shoes. So you're asking us to be empathetic to somebody who should know better, who should definitely know better, even if you have never done it in your life. If you know what blackface is, and by now you know what blackface is, you wouldn't have to have, like, even if you didn't have any education about it, the simple act of applying, like, dark makeup to your skin to make it, to imitate a black person, why wouldn't that rub you the wrong way?
You know that phrase, if you have to ask. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't, like, if somebody's coming to you asking about it, they already know.
You already know, right? You already know it's an issue. So why are you asking?
You know what would have been more provocative, kind of, for him in this situation? Yeah. It'd have been more provocative for him to kind of, I guess, issue his advice on a situation that was more, I guess, unexpected. Mm-hmm. Like, let's say, like a Halloween party. You see what I'm saying? Something that, a situation that you're kind of not in control of, where there's a lot of people, mm-hmm. And it's not so, like the interaction is not so formal. The environment is a formal engagement, but like the interaction is not this formal. So hey, buddy, like that. You know, not like that. Like, so what if you're at a Halloween party that's not your own party, or that's your own party, and one of your friends, or a friend of a friend, or a friend of that friend comes in blackface? Then what do? That would probably have been a more realistic scenario than what like Cory Booker is trying to present. Like
just randomly, like white people just randomly coming up to me.
I'm like, shut up. It just seems like he goes overboard in trying to like, he just seems like he's like a basket of like empty inspirational jargon.
Yeah. Like, again, this has been discussed for decades, okay? If you're an adult right now, you definitely have heard something about blackface. Either because Northam is in the news right now, or because you have seen some old movies where white people were imitating black people and acting stupid and mocking them. Like, you have some type of information about this. You really shouldn't have to ask. So I'm going to decline the request to put myself in a white person's shoes to be, what do you say? To
courageous empathy.
To display courageous empathy.
That's a Bookerism right there. You know how he is.
At some point, Senator Booker compared white people being apprehensive about asking about blackface to himself being somewhat scared to ask how people came out as LGBTQ. He said, quote, "What grace he extended me to ask stupid questions of a guy that was not woke about LGBTQ issues. But because of that honest conversation, I saw my ignorances and grew. Thank God he gave me a pathway to redemption." Now, these two things aren't the same.
Blackface, I'm saying, is a...
That's not who you are.
Yeah, it's not who you are. It's something you can control. It's the articulation of a hateful mindset.
Right.
Being homosexual or gay, that is inherent.
And actually,
that's not like something that hurts someone else. That's not something that shows hate towards someone else. Just by simply being homosexual or gay. I don't understand how that's comparable.
But the question that he's talking about, like, if you had somebody that you knew that was gay, that was bi, that was lesbian, and you were wanting to find out about their experiences about coming out, that's not a stupid question. I don't even think that's something that you should be apprehensive about. If you have somebody that you're close to that came out as LGBTQ, and you're, like, hey, like, what was that like for you? That's actually just a question about their life. This is Senator Cory Booker doing way too damn much. This is Senator Cory Booker trying to make a case to the people that I'm for everybody. All right. I'm not just for black people or white people or LGBTQ people or people from this land or that land. Like, I'm for everybody. And all we have to do as a people is be empathetic to other people. That's all we have to do. Put ourselves in other people's shoes, and then we can all communicate and work to make this place a better society.
You sound just like Cory.
I can't do it quite right.
Like,
I can't get his cadence.
No, you got to
get his cadence.
You got to pucker the lips, and you got to get the big eyes, and you just have to be very breathy and act like you're, like, I don't know, on the stage.
Fake.
Basically. Act like you're, like, doing like some sort of musical. You know what I'm saying? Like in the theater.
I understand that he wants to appeal to all people. I mean, if you're a candidate, you definitely want to do that. You want to appeal to all people. But you can't do it in this phony way of saying that, like, blackface is something where you should put yourself in a white person's position. As a black person, obviously, you should put yourself in a white person's positions and try to understand why they don't understand why it's offensive. That's a no-go. Sorry, I'm not putting myself in their position. They're a grown adult, right? They should know better. If they haven't done it or if they have done it, you should know damn better by now.
Cory Booker got you turned up, man.
Man.
Cory Booker got you turned up.